That's gonna suck if someone calls me, huh?
Yes, it will.
Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me see if it
You know what? We are live. Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of RoadFS Mafia Memoirs. We're all sequestered in our basements or at our homes. I'm Jody, and
I'm Rod Pusey. And like always, we're sponsored by RoadFS, and we're also sponsored by you people that go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you haven't done that yet, you could probably pause this video and go do that right now, because it's really simple and it helps keeps us doing this. So go subscribe to YouTube and just look for Zenware and then hit the subscribe button.
yep. So we are super excited. We have the man that just seems to be everywhere, Oscar Hernandez from 805 Detail Shop. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Awesome. I think before we actually went live, you were telling me this is actually your 10th one this week.
Yeah, since actually, because there's been a couple over the weekend. But yeah, I mean, all the chamber networking and BNI networking that I'm doing, it's all done through this. Like I was telling you, we do one-on-ones with other business owners, and we literally call each other, get to know each other a little bit better so we can network better. And 15, 20 minutes on this, and we drink coffee, and, you know, usually what we would do at a coffee shop or at an office or here at my shop, we just do it over this. So it's interesting.
So you're in SoCal. So how has Corona affected your business, your area? And what are you doing to keep yourself busy?
It affected us a lot. There's a lot of businesses that, you know, are not essential. Our small business community, we're a very tight small business community with the Ventura Chamber. And I'd say everyone shut down except for restaurants. So right now what we're trying to do is just support the restaurants that are open. We do takeout. So within the chamber, we had a bunch of weekly events. Like tomorrow, we have a young professional lunch mob that we used to do. We would pick a restaurant and then we'd go and have lunch there, network for an hour. So instead of doing that, we're going to go pick up our lunch there, jump on Zoom, and then everyone's going to talk about what we're doing, you know. But it definitely affected. I'm not considered an essential business, so I am closed. I come to the shop every day. I work on the business, you know, business plans, marketing. I'm making a bunch of videos, you know, with my own cars here, and just, you know, keep me busy, stay busy, read a lot. I've been reading a lot of books, just networking, you know, so still planning for the car shows that I had. I had 2 car shows that are kind of up. Well, one of them's definitely postponed. The one for Father's Day is still up in the air right now, but still keeping the planning for that. Keeping the lines of communication between us and the vendors and everybody who already paid and registered. So yeah, I mean, I still stay busy. I'm not just, you know, and nothing to you guys that are at home, but I'm just not sitting at home, not doing anything, because I know you guys are working. I'd be watching you guys. But yeah,
that's really the key, right? And I love that you said, you know what, I'm at the office or I'm at home, but I'm working on my business. I'm doing things that will help me moving forward. I'm not just going home and playing foosball with the kids all day. So.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, I'm doing things to my truck, just different videos, different things that I wanted to do that I've always said, I don't have time for that. You know, I don't have time for it. I'm doing it now. So like my website's going to get updated this week. I'm going to start doing like blogs and newsletters for my customers. And that's the stuff that I didn't really have, you know, time. It's always easy to copy and paste and try to take someone else's, but to make it your own and actually apply it to, you know, my customers and what we're dealing with here, I'm going to have time to do that now. And that's what I'm thankful for, that actually this downtime is good because it's not as busy. You know, I still have calls that come in once in a while, but for the most part, I mean, since this all came down, as you all know, Maria was training in Big Bear.
Yeah.
When all this was really going on. So I didn't really see the effects of it when it first came out until we left Big Bear. Because, you know, we were up in Big Bear. It was hotel training, you know, 10, 12-hour days, you know, working. And then go back to the hotel. So it wasn't really till we came down the hill that it was like, it shocked us of how many businesses were closed.
Yeah.
So what is the effect that it's had on California? Because I heard from somebody else in that's right around the LA area. Have they basically locked down everything for the next 21 days or 25 days or something?
So the lockdown is in effect. I believe the Bay Area went into it first, and it's just kind of been county by county. So I'm in Ventura County. Santa Barbara County is doing their own thing. You know, LA County is doing their own thing. Last night, the LA mayor pretty much said he's going to try and cut water and power to LA businesses that are non-essential, because people in LA are not.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really does suck. And a lot of people would say, well, Oscar, you're not listening because you're in your shop. Yeah, but I've always been a one-man shop. You know, I come from home, home here and then here, there. My doors are closed. I'm not dealing with anybody. So in a sense, am I breaking the rules? I mean, it really depends on who you ask. You know, they say, want us to stay down. I'm willing to bring a cot and sleep here if I have to. You know, so it really just depends on counties. Right now, there is a lot of businesses closed here. The only thing that's really open is like some restaurants, takeout. But as I'm driving from my house to here, I'll take the main roads instead of the highway. And some of these restaurants are closing because they're just not getting anybody to take out. There's a lot of people that are just staying home, and, you know, they're raiding the grocery stores and they're just not leaving. So these small businesses, to include myself, we don't know how long this is going to go. We don't know how we're going to come out of this. Some of us may not survive this and never recover from this. That's just the nature of the beast. It's just, we don't know. You know, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to make it out of this, I don't know if I'm always going to have a shop after this. It's definitely things that are in the back of my mind, but I'm not stressing on them. And that's why I need to keep myself busy, you know, to work and come up with new stuff and new ways and videos and different things that I can start putting out there in marketing. You know, so when we do come out of this, I have a lot of fresh stuff, and I'm not starting from ground zero.
Yeah. And I just, so everybody that's a small business, I was reading the stimulus package today, and it's expected to pass tomorrow morning. It includes loans for small businesses, and basically the provisions that I read said that the loan is all payments and interest are deferred for a year. So it would be until next March until you'd have to start paying for it if it's a loan. And there's provisions in there to get that loan forgiven by just not reducing employees' salaries and not laying anybody off. This includes sole proprietors. So you can go take these loans out and do things with them to get your business ready for the next wave. And that's what we're doing is we're actually beefing up. We're actually rebuilding the software. We got an update that's coming out next week for everybody. Again, that's totally free. Everybody gets that software update. And then we've actually got the next update after that already in testing, and we've already got the next one planned. So we're taking this time to really, like you said, work on the business and get the software to where when we do come out of this, that everybody benefits from it. You know, and Jody and I are, you know, we're constantly working. I told Jody, I'm like, geez, we're working harder than we worked before from our houses, you know, and we're talking, we were literally on 3 different calls before this one, which I get on Zoom, I get on the phone, and I just go like all day long and just keep working on it. So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, with all the training that Rennie's been providing for us, for the detailing network and the detail mafia, you know, it's sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming, but a lot of times it's good to go out there and just hear that you're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one that's scared. You're not the only one that's going through this. You know, I don't know if you guys saw Big D's post this morning. I look up to Big D a lot. I mean, that's one of my mentors, along with, you know, I had a long conversation with Art Baca yesterday. He's my mentor from the detailing mafia. And, you know, to sit there and talk to both of these guys that I look up to and to hear it in their voice, you know, that they're going through this too, and we're going to stick through it together. I mean, that right there gives me hope. You know, Big D went out there today and he said, hey, we're going to make through it. We're going to make it through. And if you guys need anything, if you need a compound, if you need soaps, if you need anything to get you back on your feet, give me a call. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, so sorry about that.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And it's the telemarketer. It says potential spam. But, you know, going back to the Big D thing is for him to go. I mean, Big D's got a big heart. And if nobody knows him, you guys need to go out there and research who this guy is. You know, he's got a big heart. He had to shut down his shop. And I talked to him as, you know, probably about 10 minutes after he closed the doors. And I could just sense it in his voice that, I mean, it hurt him. It definitely hurt him. And it would hurt me too. I mean, I closed mine. I don't think it affected me as much because I still get to come here. He's actually not even going into it. He's in the area where they can't even open the doors.
Right.
You know, lucky for me, you guys been here. I'm in an industrial area, and all these other auto bodies and mechanics, they're all operational. You know, and they come to me and they're like, "Hey, why?" Because it's like I don't need to open my doors. And you know, our county right now, they are driving around. They are closing business down. I mean, but a lot of it is they're doing it to themselves. They're going on social media and posting sales and all that, and it's just retail stores that are being closed down right now.
Yeah.
So it really does, you know, affect everybody in the long run. You know, it affects the customers. It affects because there's just no money being spent right now. So obviously people don't want to spend money. Detailers don't want to spend money on certain things. But I don't know. I mean, Auto Geek just came out with 50% off on stuff. You know, GP came out with, you know, stuff like that. So I think these bigger companies are seeing the struggle and actually, in a sense, helping us out. I mean, 50% off products is 50% off products.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's stuff that we need and we know we're going to use. So, you know, a huge shout out to GP and, you know, Auto Geek for what they're doing and Big D, because that's what really is motivating these detailers to stay, you know, intact and to stay engaged. You know, if we got to get another job, we'll get a night job. You know, I didn't take out a loan for this business. I strictly did it off of savings, but I think the first 6-7 months before I got the shop, I was working nights, stocking shelves, you know, just to bring in that extra income. And, you know, if I got to do that again, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have the drive.
The thing we were talking about the other day with somebody is, you know, I was talking with a friend of Big D's, and I was like, hey man, this isn't a war. This isn't a, you know, it's not the housing crisis that we had in 08 and 06. This is a known commodity, although it's a scary one and they don't know how to deal with it yet. It will go away. Mm-hmm. You know, if you look at the world and where people are at, even the effects in China are starting to go down, and it's only been 4 months. And when we were in 06, 05, it went through to 2009. I mean, it was years, and we're talking 4.5 months. And it's hard. We all are taking a hit. I mean, it's affecting. If somebody says it's not affecting them at all, I don't know how it can't. If it is trying to make an income, it's affecting you. So it's just a matter of putting things in place, and what are you going to do individually and as a group to make sure that when you do come out of this, that you're stronger, and that the industry, you know, I was listening to the Rennie and Bob Phillips and Big D and
Keith Duplessis and Joel
Keith Duplessis, and the thing they were saying there, like, you know, we've worked too hard to get this industry where it's at, to watch it all just kind of dissolve away, and to watch people start being really cutthroat. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I'm not going to say names or anything, but there's a lot of people that are just being cutthroat, and it's like that is not. This is not the time to go out and bash on somebody else to try to pick up something that's not even there, right? You're not going to pick up business because you're bashing on somebody else right now. Nobody's, like you said, spending money, but they're good when they're done. I mean, the silver lining in all of this is when this is all over, people are going to have oogies for months. And when they open everything back up, they're going to want to have their cars cleaned. So there's going to be a busy season after this is over.
No, definitely. And what you're saying about the whole cutthroat and all that stuff, I mean, I see it. It's around here, you know, but one thing that I posted on our forum for the Detail Mafia is, you know, it's, as business owners, we need to be better business people, business oriented, because everyone's a good detailer in this industry. I mean, the Detail Network, Detail Mafia, outstanding. Everyone, and even if you're not in that, I mean, all these detailers I've seen work, I follow a lot of them, outstanding work. You know, and one thing that we could work on this downtime is, you know, business ethics. business, you know, your core values, you know, working on the customer service. And a lot of people that are being cutthroat, I mean, I see it here. There's still guys being mobile. I see them around. I seen a guy yesterday at 3D picking up a 100-gallon tank trying to fit in the back of a trunk, you know, and it's the struggle because I'm sure he got laid off. I'm sure he sees other guys doing it. So they're going to do it. And that's okay. You know, the prices, have they gone down around here? Yeah. But I'm not competing on that because my doors were closed.
Right.
You know, I've saved enough to where I can continue to pay this rent. I can continue to stay open. I have a couple, you know, accounts that are still, you know, invoices that are still coming in. And and that's what helps me out, is just being a responsible business owner. And a lot of people that are doing the cutthroat, unfortunately, are probably didn't have the savings, didn't plan for something like this.
Yeah, they're working out of desperation.
Yeah. And it's sad, but I mean, it happens in every industry. You know, I was in the military and it was the same way, you know, from one unit to another, from one service to another. When we were deployed in Afghanistan, I mean, we would do it to each other. It was us and the Aussies out there. It was cutthroat, and we were in the same place, and it was like cutthroat on who was going to get what first, you know. And it just comes out of, you know, people are desperate and they don't know what to do. And going back to what Rod said, it's not a war. That's helped me out a lot, being in that point of friction and being in a combat zone and being stuck like that. It's helping me out now. That training that I've had and have done, it's helping me out now because I'm not spazzing out. I'm not, because things can be a lot worse. There's no one out here shooting at us. You know, they just closed our doors for a little bit, and you know, we're gonna come back, and we're gonna come back stronger than ever. And that's the way that's the mentality that we need to have. Instead of being cutthroat, let's be like Big D. Let's open up our arms to the industry and help people out.
Well, you know, and I love the example of Big D, because I actually talked to him as well right after they announced that they were going to shut down his shop. And, you know, clearly, you know, here's a guy that has built a very successful business, and it hurts when all of a sudden something out of your control shuts you down. And I think it's important to recognize that it's okay to go in your private room and curl up in the fetal position and get some tears and anger and frustration out of your head, and then stand up, steal your heart, and like you're doing, and like Big D's doing, they're going into their businesses. Like Rod and I have been talking all morning. What are the things that we need to change? What are the things that we can build for the future to make us even stronger moving forward? And so it's okay to give yourself that time. Just don't stay there, right? And so reach out to somebody that you trust in business, get it out of your system, and then develop a plan to say, you know what, I'm going to be proactive, and we're going to come out stronger than we were coming into this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's the right mindset to have. And I picked a lot of this up just from reading different books, you know, business leadership books. There's actually a book, it's called Mindset, you know, to have a fixed mindset or not. And it really, we just got to get it there. Like you said, it's okay to be scared. It's okay. This is going to pass, you know, and if it takes longer, it takes longer. I mean, you know, I've been through different situations like this where it sucks, you know, it sucks being locked up. It sucks, you know, not be able to do business. It sucks, but you know, we just got to stay busy, keep our mind focused. Like I said, I can't stay home without remodeling something. That's just the nature of the beast. If I stay home, I'm gonna start knocking down walls, you know.
Don't even say that. My wife is in this house right now. Don't even say remodel. This just
no. I was telling Maria the other day. I was like, you know what? I want to knock down the stairs and get those iron ones that just turn, like they just go straight up. She's like, you're crazy. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can do it. And I pulled out a notepad. I started drawing. She goes, let's go to the shop. You need to get out of here, like, you know. And it's because that's just how I get. I got to do something, you know. And you know, coming to the shop kind of helps me out. You know, like I said, organized, working on things, got all my paperwork all laid out over here in another desk, and you know, just double checking everything. You know, making sure that things are up and going, and still trying to stay engaged with the community. One thing I did last week, we went out and volunteered a bunch of business owners at our local food bank called Food Share. And, you know, it's just to go out there for 2 or 3 hours and all these business. I mean, I was there with Lisa from L'Amour Cake. She's the one that made the IDA cookies. I was there with her and a couple other business owners. And we're kind of all just, you know, talking, and it's like it's affecting everybody, you know. But to go out there and volunteer for 2 or 3 hours just sorting out cans, you know, boxing up stuff, that keeps your mind busy and keeps it off of things. Those 2 hours, literally, I met some people there that heard through that volunteer hours through Twitter, through Facebook, and they just showed up because they're just tired of being at home. That's not what they do. And, you know, there's different things you can still do with the community. You know, get a Zoom. It's free, I think, for like under 50 people, you know, and still talk to people and still network. You can still do this stuff.
Yeah, we were talking on Rennie's thing the other day, the one he had, and I posted a thing out there, and I said, hey, you can just reach out to an older person and let them know you're still there and you're caring about them and you're thinking about them. Talk to somebody, do a FaceTime with them, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are very, not shut-ins, but they don't get out very often, you know. And you can still reach out to them and talk to them and just have a conversation with them. You know, today is my wife's birthday, and so
happy birthday.
Yeah, she is she's shut in on her birthday. But first thing this morning, people started reaching out to her, you know, and that's what it takes today, and that's enough. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but, you know, at least somebody's still thinking about you, and they're willing to reach out. You know, I talked to Big D. I think you were texting on the call he had a week ago, or like for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it takes, is just people being together and doing stuff. You know, I was talking to you about, okay, so when we do the autism car show, you know, let's talk about what's going to happen when it happens, not the fact that it's postponed, but let's talk about when we do it. You know, what are we going to do? You know, and I've been joking with Big D about the Southern Detailing Conference, because that convention center is supposed to be torn down after the Southern Detailing stuff. And I'm like, hey, we can make this a hell of an event. It's like, come to the Southern Detailing Conference and we're going to tear down the event center. I mean, let's just tear it up while we're there, you know?
That's awesome.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like I said, it kind of halted everything, but, you know, we still got hope. I know our car show is still going to go. Being involved with the Autism Society and Ashley Pope, she's the one that it's my cousin's girlfriend. She's the one that has her son's autistic, my nephew. So she's very involved with the board. She's kind of like the voice between the car show and the board. I went to the board meeting last month, gave a whole thing on that. And, you know, they just moved the autism run. They do an autumn run. It's called Autism Run. It brings in about 10,000 runners for a 5K, 10K. And that, you know, that's all done in the month of April for Autism Awareness Month. They moved that over down later on the year. We're going to move the car show later on. You know, we're still working with them on that to pick a date. And obviously, I'm also working with the local car club community to make sure we don't step on anybody else's toes that already has a car show at that time period. Because there's a lot of stuff that just, you know, came to, it's going to get moved again. But, you know, it's still there. I'm not going to let it go. You know, we put too much time and effort. We're going to raise money for, you know, these two great organizations, which is the Autism Society and Industry Horde. And we're going to give back. You know, this is not going to stop me from not giving back. That's just that's awesome. How I see it. You know, one way or another, you know, my last resort, are we going to do like an online thing? Probably not. I'm not big on that. But I want to have a car show, and I think we're going to do it. The next one is June, you know, our Father's Day car show that goes out to Mission Fish and Real Guppies. You know, Mission Fish takes out veterans, first responders.
Yep.
You know, fishing, they have suffer with PTSD, and active duty reserves, veterans, they take them out, you know, and the Real Guppies has a great program. I mean, my son, I posted a video 2 months ago when he was here. You know, he went out fishing, and I never thought he'd like it, but we caught a crab. I mean, we didn't catch it. And literally, you show up to the pier with your kids, and everything's set up. Everything is set up by this guy, Kevin, and he's definitely, you know, on that car show. All the money we raise goes back to those two nonprofits. You know,
that's awesome.
I make nothing out of these cars, and a lot of people see like, oh, this guy, you know, because they hate and discontent's there. Oh, this guy is a detailer. He's making money off these car shows. No,
nope.
The only thing I get is the little logo at the bottom of the flyers that are donated. You know, it's advertisement, but I don't go out and make anything. Everything goes back.
About it is car guys like to be involved in car stuff. I'm part of a car club. It's actually the oldest, the oldest existing car club in the United States. It was started in 1964 by 8 friends. They all went off to Vietnam. Only one guy made it back, and so he kept the car club going. And he's a great guy. He's right here local. And we do a Father's Day car show that all the proceeds go to the veterans. And we take all the veterans out. They get to choose a car and they put them in the car and we run them around. And, you know, you get these guys that are, you know, they're 10 miles a year getting into the car. And once they get in the car, man, they're like, punch it. Let's go. And they want to, and they love it, you know. The kids love it, everything. And I never take anything down there that's our stuff. It's just, I go down there as a car guy. And, you know, I think my prediction is that when this ends and we have those kind of events, they're going to be the most attended events you've ever seen. People are going to get out in the community. They're going to go out and they're going to go to these local events and they're going to support those because of the experience of not being able to do that. You know, so I think it's going to be even bigger and better than we planned.
Yeah. I mean, I've had detailers reach out to me from across the country that have seen the flyer and they're just like, hey, dude, this is awesome. You know, they have a family member, a son, a daughter with autism, you know, in the autism spectrum. And they're just like, dude, this is awesome. I wish we had something here. And I'll hit them back up. Be like, look, dude, I can send you everything that I did. All you got to do is find a location and everything else will fall into place. Like, if you want to do this in your local community, let me know. You know, and we'll get it done. You know, I think Sydney up in your area does one too, right?
Yeah, Sydney's got one planned. It's probably going to be postponed too because it's in a local neighborhood and stuff. But yeah, she does one. There's a huge car community here. The first year that we did the veterans one for the Idaho Chariots, we had over 350 cars, and one of Jody and I's clients is a construction company. He donated all of the cones and everything to block everybody off. And then I was in charge of traffic control. I was dying. By the time I ushered in 350 cars, got everybody where they parked, I couldn't even speak. You know, it was huge. So, I mean, people love that kind of stuff. So, I think that right now people can plan that. They can start putting things together so that when this is over, you know, they can go out and do things like that. And my hope is I wish that some of these people would come together instead of being so cutthroat with each other and realizing nobody's going to get 100% of the market, not anybody. You're going to get your percentage. And so if you would just work together with people and come together and say, hey, you know, like if I was in your area, I'd be like, hey, Oscar, when this is all over, let's team up on some stuff because, you know, maybe I got a customer that's got, you know, 5 boats and I can't handle all 5 boats. So if I bring one to your shop, maybe we can work on it together. We'll split the stuff. And I wish people would do that a little bit more than trying to think that they're going to get all of it, you know, and it's just,
you know, and that's my mentality when I came into this. I ran into you know, at my car show last year at Father's Day, there was a detailer there who had a nice truck. He went in for the show. He takes his cars and I've seen him around and, you know, it's like I start talking to them and sometimes they're just so standoffish, like, oh, you know, this is another guy. Like, it's like, dude, there's over 250 cars here. Even if we wanted to, we're not going to detail them in one day. Right?
Yeah.
We're just not, dude. Like, it's not going to happen. And I think that's just the way I see it, that there's enough to go around. And one thing that I like to do, well, actually, it just comes naturally, I guess, is when I'm in networking and meetings and stuff like that, like, I don't even tell people that I'm a detailer. I don't hound people that, you know, this, I'm not here's my card and call me and this and that. Because what I like to do is I like to build relationships first. I like to build a relationship, the trust. And then if they want my services, then I do it. But I have friends in the chamber that I've never detailed their car and they're ambassadors just like myself in the chamber. I don't hound them like, oh, hey, your car is dirty. No, I don't care. Like, you know, it's not that I don't care for the business. It's just that I'd rather build relationships.
Yeah.
And the business will follow.
Yeah, the business will follow long term. And same thing with the car show community. You know, I talk to all the car clubs. Here in Ventura, we have a United Car Clubs of Ventura County where a bunch of car clubs just got together because they got tired of the cutthroat. They got tired of everybody having car shows on the same Sunday. Nobody would show up. And it ended up being like a car club show itself with a few other, you know, solo riders.
Yeah.
Right.
But they built this committee and it's awesome because it's like 20 something car clubs that get together. They get together in the beginning of the year and they plan out everybody's car show. All I had to do was send them my flyer and it was like already plugged in. And then everybody else knew not to put, you know, a car show there. And car clubs, the presidents are willing to move their car show just so that everyone can attend. And what the car clubs do is, if there is 2 car shows in one day, they'll split up the car club and be like, hey, half of you guys are going to go here and half of you guys are going to go there and support, because that's the community that we built. This is not the early 90s, you know, in the lowrider community where people are throwing car clubs or car shows just to build the next car. You know, that era has gone away. It's all about giving back to the community, the schools, the baseball teams, the soccer teams, you know, anything that we can raise money to give back. That's what it's come down to. And that's what I love about being in this car industry, that I'm not just a detailer, but I'm also involved in the car shows. And I get to see where that money goes in the local community. You know, we don't just write a check and it goes somewhere in, you know, to a national place or anything. It all stays local, you know, and then you get to see the uniforms that, you know, you went to a car show, you paid $25 or I got a booth. But, you know, next season you see those new uniforms that softball team got. Yeah. That they didn't have money for, you know, that we can help out. And I think that's what it's all about. And right now is a good time to start working those connections. You know, everyone is hurting right now, to include nonprofits. You know, I was in a webinar yesterday morning with Ventura County Business Bureau, and you know, the chamber was on there, and one of the companies was on there was a nonprofit. It's like, hey, are all these services available? You keep saying small business, but what about the nonprofits? They're right there next to us. They are also suffering with us because no one's donating right now. Yeah. No one's going to Industry Horror because they closed their doors and buying, you know, shirts or, you know, banners and stuff like that. They're hurting just like we are. And those are the people that we can't forget about. It's just not about me, 805 Detail Shop. I think about the whole community. You know, how is this going to affect us all? You know, are we going to recover? We went through the Thomas fires about 3 years ago here, when Southern California burned down, and that affected small businesses a lot. I mean, we were closed down for a good month and a half because our town was just full of smoke, you know, and it took a while to recover, and some businesses didn't recover from that, you know, because you close a restaurant down, you know, they still got to pay rent and all that stuff. You know, it's hard. It's definitely hard, but I think once you build that community relationship and you're involved in the community, they're going to help you out. And you're going to help them out. And that's what I like to do, is go out and help people out. Because I'm pretty sure when I need the help, they're going to help me out too. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. And I think that's one of the reasons that Jody and I have kind of migrated towards you. I mean, personally, it's just because you have a similar philosophy to us. We've never been that.
Oh, we had the same haircut.
It's also a similar hairline, but
you guys are just jealous.
No, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Hair is so last century. We don't care. But
I see Oscar's doing it all down here instead. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's I think the way we're going to get through this, and I think that's the attitude people need to have, is be honest and open, and not try to, you know, anybody that's out there that's still got a cocky attitude about what they're doing right now, they're scared, and I feel sorry for them. They need to just, you know, be real about it and step back and realize where everybody in the country is. You know, I mean, the whole country's dealing with this. It's not just the detailing industry, it's everybody. And that's, you know, if you can get out and deliver groceries to somebody that can't get them, if you can go out and, you know, do anything for somebody to where, you know, like, I don't know, there's a lady that lives across the street from us and she's in her 80s. It's like, take her garbage cans in. She doesn't need to be out there wandering around doing that. Take them in, wave at her, you know, just be the person that I went by yesterday, but down by our office, there's the police department here in town owns a convention center, a little event center. And when I went by our office, there was a bunch of officers walking around there and just going by and unrolling the window and waving at them and getting them to smile, you know, making a joke or something, so that they know you're still supporting them. I mean, they're still out there doing their job. They don't have a choice. You know, the EMT, the medical staff, the police departments, the National Guard, those guys have to go do this, whether they want to or not. They have families, they have friends, they have concerns, and they're just as scared as everybody else, but they're out there stepping up and doing it. So we need to be able to do that. I mean, we talk every single day to my wife's mother is in her 80s, and my parents are in their late 70s, and it's like, hey, do you guys need anything? You know, we'll go pick it up, drop it at your door, walk away. You know, like I said, just make a video call with them so that they know you're still thinking about it.
Yeah, I tell you, that makes a big impact. I mean, Tuesday I had this. I have a friend of mine who passed away. He was like 80 something last year. And he passed away a year ago this month. And his wife was on my mind all day on Tuesday. and all morning. And so finally I just called her up and I said, "Hey, Diane, I was just thinking about you." She's like, "Oh, Jody, I'm so glad you called. I'm in my house. I'm sequestered. I can't get out. I haven't been feeling very well." And I mean, she just unloaded for 30 minutes. And it was just a beautiful conversation. She was talking about her grandkids and her kids and how they could come over and how she was missing them. And I'm like, do you need me to go to Walmart and get you stuff? She was, "Oh, no, I'm having it delivered and stuff." But, just to touch base with people, to have that personal touch is really, really important. And I think a lot of times, to your point, Oscar, is we forget the people like the nonprofits or the people that are sequestered at home. And there's so much that we can do as individuals and as businesses to wrap our arms around each other virtually. And sometimes, literally, if we need to go and help and serve them, and it really does have an impact. So I love your example. You have a service mindset, and it is what really does separate you from other businesses in your area, and has really put you, in a lot of people's eyes as a business and a business owner that they would like to emulate because they see what you're doing. So we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate you being part of the show. So, how do people find 805 Detail Shop? Because you are the guys that I would go to if I was in SoCal.
No, I mean, 805 Detail Shop, social media. I got Instagram. We're on Facebook. Currently working on LinkedIn. That's something I always wanted to do. So that's going to be up later on this week with the help of the Ventura Chamber. Ashley Pope's going to hook up to LinkedIn. Our website. The only thing we're very unique. It's not 805 numbers. We spelled everything out. Everything around here is numbers. We spelled out 805 Detail Shop. That's what it is. Every time I've done this, even with the podcast with Rennie, I always have one or two detailers that hit me up, and it's like people think I've been doing this for a long time, and I haven't. I was in the military for a long time, and then I rolled into this, and that's when I said that you just have that different mindset is what it is everyone's a great detailer. Everyone can come out and polish a car and take sandy marks out and work on this and work on that, but having the right mindset. And I think that's what we had a thing in the Marine Corps, and it's every Marine's a rifleman, but we need to make well-rounded Marines. Every Marine needs to be able to shoot a rifle, do his job, follow orders, be squared away. And I think if we bring that mindset to the detailing world, that every Marine or every detailer is a good detailer, but let's make them a good business person. Let's make them a good networker. Okay, let's dress them up in business attire and put them in BNI or the Rotary Club or the Lions and actually go out and network with the right people. Let's make well-rounded detailers. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much. Sorry, I go off on tantrums, but I have a passion for it. It's a passion that I have, and I know that Carlos up in Oregon and Chris up in the South, or he's in Virginia over there, or South Carolina. Yeah, it's Chris Williams, not Wilkins. He's gonna Chris Williams. We always confuse the two. Wilkins is down in Florida, but they talk. We talk a lot with Big D. We talk every day. Every day I talk to those guys, and those are the guys I look up to. And Carlos and Big D have been doing this for a while. Me and Chris are kind of rookies at it, but we feed off of each other. And and unfortunately, this is our times, but we're all going through it.
Yeah,
those are my brothers right there, and that's who I talk. So finally look me up on Instagram, Facebook. I'm mostly on Instagram. Everything just gets tagged into Facebook. I'm not really big on my personal pages, so if you do find me out there on Facebook, Oscar Hernandez, I don't really post stuff on there unless I just share stuff for my business. I keep my personal life personal. Sometimes I'll put my kids out there and whatnot, but yeah, I'm mostly on the business page. Sharing different things, and just again, shout out to Big D for doing what he's doing, and my mentor Arbaka for really those two conversations I had with them, both of them over an hour yesterday, just really boosted me up and come out. And again, to you guys for doing what you're doing, even though in down times. I mean, this is a perfect example of what you guys are doing. You're not going to stop doing these these interviews just because we're locked down. When they're you guys are a perfect example of what this community is also doing. Is there's a way, there's will. You put your mind to it, you're gonna do it.
You just gotta stay busy.
Yep, stay busy and stay. Just Rod, don't start tearing down walls like I am.
So I'm actually been doing stuff in my shop. So I'm going to post some pictures today of, I was out test fitting some stuff on a project I'm working on and finishing up a frame. And so I'm getting a little bit of time to do that. Not a whole lot. I'm spending a lot of time with my kids. So, you know, but still doing a little bit of stuff. No walls coming out.
No walls.
Oh man, well, thank you, Oscar. We appreciate you joining us. Everybody that's tuned in, please remember, you know, be safe, man. Take care of your families. You know, serve those that you can within reason, right? We want to be service-minded. We want to reach out to people that can't get out, and there are ways that you can get creative. So we just want to thank you for tuning in every week. Next week, we will have a new guest. We will be here, same time, same bat channel. You guys have a fantastic day. See
Thank you
ya.
guys.
See you. Thanks a lot.
brother. You have a great day, man.
You too, brother. Love you.
Love you, man.